Are you thinking about moving to Montana? Maybe Kalispell, Whitefish, somewhere near Glacier National Park? Well, before you pack your bags, there are some big misconceptions out there about moving to Montana that can cause headaches for newcomers if they're not ready. Today, I'm breaking down the 7 biggest myths about moving to Montana. So if you're confused, wondering what's true, what's not true, you've heard all the rumors about Montana, maybe seen some TV shows or heard from people who visited, moved to the area or from the area, and I got you covered today. We're gonna break it all down. So let's get right into it. My name is Lindsay Iskerka. I am a real estate agent here with the Living Kalispell real estate team. We get calls, texts, emails from people just like you every single day wondering, what's Montana really like? And they're looking for some real talk when it comes to moving to Montana. So if that's you, reach out to us. All of our contact information is below. And if you like some no fluff, real talk videos just like this, do me a favor, click that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on any real talk about moving to Montana. Let's get into it. Myth number 1 is that Montana is always freezing cold. This is one of the most common things that I hear. Isn't Montana cold all the time? The myth is that it's sub-zero temps all the time, constant snowstorms, blizzards, you're snowed in, and you'll never be warm ever again. Here's the truth. Winters are long and snowy, especially here in Northwest Montana. But we also have beautiful summers with some days where we reach 80 degrees and it's just beautiful. We have a true fall here where you will see leaves change, and it's a great time to actually visit the area and go to Glacier National Park. Take advantage of fewer tourists in the area and experience what I think is the sunniest season, honestly, that we have, which is fall. And spring is my least favorite season, to be totally honest. It is a bit erratic. Some days you'll have some snow, but it won't stick to the ground, so it just kind of melts and becomes slush. The next day it's sunny and 70 degrees. The next day it's windy, and so on and so forth. Now with winters, like I mentioned, we do get cold temperatures, but you're not below zero for hardly any of it. We get what we call cold snaps, and cold snaps are maybe 2-3 days where you will see temps below 0 degrees, and it can get cold. I mean, we're talking -30, -40, but we plan for this and we know that it's coming. And to be honest, Montana is used to cold weather, so we have the infrastructure in place to help keep the city running. Locals here honestly love the 4 seasons. Skiing and snowboarding in the winter, even snowmobiling, snowshoeing, hiking in lake days in the summer, hunting in the fall. You're not stuck in a frozen tundra, but you do need to be prepared for winter. But don't let that dissuade you from moving to Montana. Yes, it's cold, but it's not freezing all year round. What I will say, honestly, is that Northwest Montana is a lot more gray and gloomy than I anticipated. There are a lot more days where we have cloud cover and it's not quite as sunny as you might expect. So that is real talk about the weather here. And it is a little bit cooler into summertime. There was even a couple of days during summer this year where Glacier National Park did get some snow and they had to close the Going to the Sun Road for a couple of days to plow the snow out and let it melt. So it does get a little bit erratic, but just part of Montana culture is going with the flow, and that includes with the weather. It's a bit unpredictable, it's a bit erratic, but we just roll with it. We look forward to the days that are warm and sunny. We take advantage of it. We get outside. And if it's kind of rainy or a little cold, we are outside anyways. Montanans are tough. We don't just stay inside or keep our kids inside if it's cold outside. We still send them out. One thing I love about the schools here, for example, is that kids have snowsuits at school. So they go outside even in the wintertime and play. And they get outside and they get fresh air. And we really get our kids acclimated to all 4 seasons. So if that's not something that you do want to handle, probably moving to Montana isn't the best thing for you. Is it freezing all the time? No. Is it cold sometimes? Yes. But don't let that scare you or think that it's constantly cold year round. We definitely do have all 4 seasons. We experience them in full force, and we are outside no matter what. Another big myth is that Montana is dirt cheap. People imagine buying land for pennies and living the ranch life on a budget, starting their homestead or what have you. The truth is that housing in Kalispell, Whitefish, and the Flathead Valley, even parts like Bozeman, Montana as well, is above the national average, especially since the pandemic brought in more buyers here and a lot of people moved here. A median home in Whitefish can easily run for $1 million or more. Groceries, gas, utilities tend to be a little bit more expensive and a bit higher than the national average. However, one thing is that Montana has no state sales tax, so you will feel that relief when it comes to your everyday spending. We also have lower property taxes than most states do, and lower income tax. So you do keep more of the money that you earn, but Montana is not necessarily the cheapest state to live in. In fact, check out my other video where I talk about Montana being ranked as the least affordable state in the United States, and I break that all down. And again, give you some real talk about what it actually costs to live in Montana. So while in general, Montana can be cheaper than other states that people might be moving from, like California, Colorado, New York, places like that, it is definitely not the cheapest to live in. And it may be a little bit more expensive to actually live here than you might think. Myth number 3 is that land equals total freedom. A lot of people think buying Montana land means no rules. You can do whatever you want. You can build whatever you want and however many units that you want and have all the livestock and the animals and the gardens that you want and really have that Montana ranch dream or the homestead that you keep liking on Instagram. The truth is that many areas have CCNRs, zoning laws, or building restrictions. Even in rural filling neighborhoods or areas outside of the main hubs of Montana, you might not be allowed to homestead, park an RV, raise livestock, or build more than a single family home dwelling on your land. If your dream is chickens in the backyard, like I have, or a mini ranch, you have to review the covenants carefully before you buy. Make sure the land that you're buying is zoned for what you hope to do with it. Don't just hope and pray that raw land equals no rules. It's likely not the case. Myth 4 is that jobs are easy to find and pay well. Myth is that you can move here and find a high-paying job right away, or at least a job that's going to cover the typical cost of living. The truth is, unless you're in healthcare, skilled trades, remote work, or something of that sort, jobs can be limited. Wages are lower than in states like California or Washington. The median household income in Montana is around $65,000 a year. That's why a lot of people will secure employment before moving, or they bring a remote job with them, they start their own business. Otherwise, the reality can be a big adjustment. Don't make the mistake that a lot of people make, thinking they can move here and then find a job that pays similar to what they were earning someplace else. Myth number 5 is that Montana is empty and uncrowded. The Big Sky Country nickname leads many to picture endless solitude. A myth is that you'll be alone in wide open spaces with no traffic and no crowds and no sight of any neighbors for miles and miles. And while that may be true in some parts of Montana, my father-in-law actually lives on 20 acres in the woods in the mountains of Montana, and he can't even see neighbors for miles and miles, and it's very secluded where he is. He's off-grid, but most people don't move to Montana to pursue that kind of property. They want to have their own space but still be on-grid or still be well within some city limits. The truth is, Northwest Montana, especially the Flathead Valley, is actually one of the fastest growing areas in the United States. Kalispell was named the fastest growing microcity in the United States. Glacier National Park sees over 3 million visitors a year, which means summers can feel busy and even congested in certain areas. We do have quite a bit of development going in parts of Northwest Montana, including Kalispell, Whitefish, Missoula's built out, Bozeman's built out. A lot of different areas do have a lot of development going in where you may have a little bit more land or be a little more spread out from your neighbors, but you're gonna have to go to the outskirts of these areas to really get that wide open space, more land, and more breathing room and space between you and your neighbors. And the truth is too, is that there aren't very many shopping centers available. So to do your errands, to get your Costco groceries, to get your supplies for the winter, you are gonna have to go into town, and going into town can get pretty congested. So plan to spend your day driving to town to get your supplies, get what you need, stock up. You are definitely going to run into some crowds and some lines, especially in peak seasons when we also have tourists visiting the area. If you want a deeper dive into different parts of Montana and the population, the cost of living, and the amenities around, look at this video that I did where I talk about the 6 places in Montana that most people move to give you an idea of the different parts of Montana. That might be a good fit for you. Myth number 6 is that everyone hunts, fishes, and rides horses. Another stereotype is that everyone here in Montana is a cowboy or an outdoorsman or lives off grid. The myth is that to fit in, you need to hunt, fish, or own horses and have a ranch. The truth is, yes, those activities are huge here and it's a part of Montana culture and we are proud of it. But Montana culture is still pretty diverse. You'll find art festivals, live theaters, breweries, coffee shops, yoga studios, CrossFit studios, and so much more. You can hit the rodeo, but you also can hit Pilates. You will definitely find community here if you do enjoy the activities like hunting and fishing and just getting out and enjoying Montana in the outdoors, but it's not a requirement to live here. Montana life can be as rugged or modern as you want it to be. And there are different areas of Montana that will fit your lifestyle depending upon what you're looking for. Myth number 7 is that building on raw land is easy. This is a big one for buyers with a dream of custom building or retiring in Montana and building out their ranch and buying lots of acreage. The myth is that you can buy land, throw up a cabin, live the dream, and do it all for really cheap. The truth is that developing land is costly and complex. You'll need to budget for well drilling, septic, road access, utilities, permits, the list goes on. Construction seasons are short here due to weather, and the material costs can run high. Also, finding laborers and workforce can be really difficult, honestly. Choosing a builder and a contractor for you and getting started can take years. So just plan for that and expect it to cost more and take longer than you think. Many people who move here and don't do the research ahead of time regret rushing into raw land purchases without fully understanding the timeline and expenses. And like I alluded to before, assuming that raw land means no rules. That's rarely the case. So make sure you do your research and plan for it to take a lot longer than you think it might. So there you have it. Those are 7 of the biggest myths about moving to Montana. It's an incredible place to live. I absolutely love calling Northwest Montana home, but it's important to move here with realistic expectations and knowing what is real and what's not real. If you're thinking about moving to Kalispell, Whitefish, Columbia Falls, or anywhere near Glacier National Park, reach out to us. All of our contact information is below. My team and I would love to help you avoid these mistakes and find the right fit for your Montana lifestyle. And if you like this unfiltered, real talk about moving to Montana, do me a favor, click that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new videos that we're posting where we dive into the truth about moving to Montana and what it's like to actually live here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.